Have you heard of Robinhood of Keene? You can check him out, I think at robinhood.freekeene.com is his official website. It's a group of volunteers who decide they're going to follow the parking meter maid and put quarters into the meters that are expired to save people from getting parking tickets. Then, this week, just 2 days ago, I read in the Keene Sentinel an op-ed in a letter to the editor. Headline, Keene's Parking Enforcement a Little Too Tough by B. Healy. At 9 a.m. Wednesday, I pulled into a parking space near the Works on Main Street, planning to go in and buy breakfast. There were 4 available parking spaces around me. I was sitting in my car for a few minutes making a phone call. 2 parking enforcement women were next to me in their parking enforcement van, collecting money from the meters. One of the women said to me, "You need to put 5 cents in the meter while you wait." To me, this was really crossing the line in their parking enforcement duties. As a result, I left and headed home. As reported in the Sentinel, the fact that the parking folks have been bothered by certain groups in Keene, I think, has been a wrong towards them. And I feel equally. The parking folks' comment was a wrong towards me and others trying to park and shop on Main Street. B. Healy, Main Street, Harrisville. Why do I bring this up? Because the city of Keene is currently in the midst of a court battle reaching the Supreme Court of New Hampshire about the very issue of a citizen's right to fill a parking meter ahead of a meter maid. That's really where we're at in 2014 America. I wish that weren't the case. Believe me, I wish we were focusing on more important issues. But this is where we're at. We got to fight the battles where we are. The parking enforcers in Keene are literally telling people to pay a nickel while they wait. Or else what? There's a threat behind that, you know. If you don't put that 5 cents in, you will be charged a 10,000% increase in a fine. Yeah, sure, that's only $5. But it's still a 10,000% increase is the punishment for not paying? In what business world would that ever make sense? Even the most predatory credit cards have rates of 30, 40%. 10,000%? Outrageous! And what service are they providing anyway, besides telling people to get lost? As the man writes, there were 4 available parking spaces around him. He was only sitting for a few minutes. For goodness sakes, the man was hungry. He was about to get breakfast. It's not like he was going to sit there yakking all morning. And it's only 9 a.m. This has to be the beginning of their shift. And yet, the Keene city government is spending tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, prosecuting 5 peaceful people for the crime of filling parking meters. Of course, this story has garnered international attention as newspapers as far as Belgium have reported about the Robin Hood saga. But sometimes it gets more serious. Sometimes when you're charged with a parking violation, you can die. Don't believe me? Here's the latest story from a man who was shot and paralyzed over parking tickets. You may not believe it, but here's the story from Philadelphia, CBSLocal.com. Lehigh County officials say investigation into shooting involving 2 state constables is ongoing. Reported July 17th, just 2 weeks ago. Whitehall Township, PA. Officials in Lehigh County say the investigation into a shooting involving 2 state constables is ongoing. Here is the video. Oh,
Well,
there
a
we go.
shooting investigation is underway involving 2 state constables in Pennsylvania. Authorities say that they were trying to serve a warrant for unpaid parking tickets. It all happened in the 3400 block of Portland Drive in Whitehall Township, Lehigh County. Eyewitness News reporter Noelle McLaren is live at the scene tonight. Noelle.
Well, police have been out here since shortly after 7:30 this morning when those shots were fired. And you can see here behind me that police are still out here processing the scene. The DA and the family of that man shot, questioning why such extreme force was used over warrants for parking tickets.
How does it happen that this man ends up getting shot for an unpaid ticket?
Hafiza Muhammad is struggling to figure out how the father of her son and longtime boyfriend, Kevin McCullers, is now paralyzed from the waist down over $600 worth of unpaid parking tickets.
Our whole family life has just changed over a matter of seconds.
She claims McCullers was unarmed, simply leaving their townhouse to pick up coffee when she heard 2 gunshots. She quickly realized one hit her boyfriend.
He can't breathe and he can't move.
Lehigh County District Attorney Jim Martin says 2 constables were serving McCullers a warrant for unpaid tickets, but he wasn't having it.
They were asking Mr. McCullers to comply. He did not. Instead, he put the vehicle in the reverse.
That's when one of the constables allegedly fired twice at McCullers' vehicle, one of the shots striking him in the torso. The DA tells us this morning wasn't the first visit authorities have made to McCullers' home, but he says he has a lot of questions about the shooting.
Frankly, a bit disturbed by the fact that there would be a shooting in connection with attempting to serve parking tickets.
This man was shot for no reason.
Now, the DA says those constables' guns have been seized. So far, no charges have been brought against them or against Mr. McCullers. In Whitehall Township, Noelle McLaren, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
No, thank you.
What do you make of this story? Is this an appropriate use of power, or will the government folks find that the police abused their authority? It's unlikely. If you've heard stories like this before, you've heard them all. Oh, the police are put on administrative leave while the investigation is ongoing. Meaning, they're getting a paid vacation for shooting a man and paralyzing him over parking tickets. What's this really about? It's about who owns you. Do you own yourself? Or do the police somehow own your body? Well, it's easy. If the police own your body and you disobey them, of course they can shoot you. For anything. Even unpaid parking tickets. But if you own yourself, as I believe you do, well then the police have no authority to shoot at you for unpaid parking tickets. And why is parking a crime in the first place? Isn't that just a problem created by government socializing the roads? Most people don't stop to consider, what would the world look like? What would your main street look like if your local business owners owned the road? It happens in malls. All of those businesses collectively pay dues to one owner of that mall who pays for upkeep. Could not the same be applied to an open-air main street? What would parking enforcement look like in a free society? Well, I bet there'd be plenty of parking spaces. You wouldn't be penalized for spending an extra minute eating your meal. You might even get valet service. Whenever the market provides, it provides in abundance. Things we never even thought imaginable.